Hello, friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food or beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and I'm with my co-hosts for this episode, John Craven and Mike Schneider. In this episode, we sit down with Maura Duggan, the founder and CEO of Fancy Pants Baking Company, a brand known for its all-natural cookies that blend indulgence with sustainability. We also meet up with Allison Elliott, the founder and CEO of Farmer Foodie, which markets a plant-based Parmesan designed to deliver both purpose and flavor.
I was so sad that you didn't say Jackie's name, but then you said Fancy Pants and Farmer Foodie, and that was just changed my whole outlook.
Well, Jackie's taking some much-deserved time off after an epic BevNet Live in New York City, where we met up with about 800 other amazing people, professionals, operators, founders, investors, retailers, distributors in the beverage industry.
Speaking of professionals, Ray, thanks for everything you did there. You're once again, were amazing at BevNet Live.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's really fun to be at these events and incorporate the energy you feel into the performance, I'll call it, on stage. Because it's not easy to prepare for these things. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of focus, trying to make sure that we're delivering the best content, the best product that we possibly can. And so I think our team really feeds off that energy and feeds off that excitement, and it gives us an opportunity to really put our best foot forward.
Between you and Jeff and Farron and Marty and Brad, it was just a really well-hosted show, so thanks so much for doing that.
Yeah, and I
Once
know
again.
Our entire BevNet team listens to Taste Radio religiously, so I'll just shout out to our amazing events team, our AV team, operations, editorial, marketing, sales. Everyone just deserves a ton of applause and credit for what they brought to the table.
The energy in the room was palpable. Once you walked in, that's the right word, you could touch it, right? You walked in, you could feel the energy. As soon as you walked in the room, there were, companies of all shapes and sizes there. We had, small brands who hadn't launched yet. We had Olipop, we had Liquid Death, we had Refresco was there. One of the largest co-packers in the world. It was just, the conversation started on stage. They were nonstop. In fact, some of them continued while the content was happening. People just were getting business done.
Yeah, it's a long way away from my first BevNet Live in New York City in June of 2011 at the Sheraton Hotel in Midtown. And John, I'm sure you're proud of the work that the team has done. And just as someone who works for the company, but also an observer of what we've seen in the beverage industry and how it's evolved, it's pretty amazing just to see where BevNet Live was and where it is today.
Yeah, it's come a long way, which obviously, I wouldn't say that just to pat ourselves on the back, but I think, the strength of this community and the strength of this industry is stronger than ever, which is always awesome to see when we get together twice a year for BevNet Lives.
Yeah. And I got to shout out also the ability for founders to identify these places where they can excel, where consumers are looking for new and innovative concepts, new ways to improve on existing categories, because we saw a lot of that in the coolers. We saw a lot of that in terms of introductions to us from founders at the event, on stage during the New Beverage Showdown. It just seems like founders are really doing their best to deliver on what consumer demand is at this moment.
And the room block for winter's now open, Ray, in case you want to get your ticket.
Yeah, BevNet Live Winter 2025. For us, it's right around the corner. Even though it's a few months away, we start planning for these
things. And where is it, Ray?
It's in Marina Del Rey at the Marina Del Rey Marriott, which we'll just call Los Angeles.
Yeah,
it's all LA.
It's nice and close to LAX.
Yes,
but also far enough away that you're kind of away from the riffraff.
You want a little beach life? You can get some.
It's a stone's throw away.
Marina life, come on.
Yeah, marina life.
It's a stone's throw away from Santa Monica, Manhattan Beach.
Venice,
exactly. So,
Justa,
Shay J.
Yeah,
Shay J. So,
but don't forget Justa.
I'm telling you right now.
I won't.
Here's a standing invitation to anyone who's planning to be at BevNet Live in Marina Del Rey to have a drink with the team. And perhaps I'll put it on my credit card because I know John's looking at... he's burning a hole into my head with his eyes right now. My credit card, it's on my dime.
I'm like, when and where, Ray? I'm in.
Okay.
Let's get that top shelf liquor for
Yeah, at Shay J in Santa Monica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they have a mean Allagash White there.
It's a different kind of Allagash White than anywhere else?
That's a mean one.
That's just fresh.
That's fresher.
Fresh.
Okay. I was going to say they make a mean Manhattan. The grizzled old veteran who's been behind the bar for years. My goodness, that guy could make a Manhattan in his sleep and it would still be the best one in California. All right. So I have this in my notes. I probably shouldn't say this. Do people still use Pinterest? I don't know. I've in my whole life never used Pinterest.
Pinterest is not for you, Ray. I mean,
Who's it for?
It's for somebody who's expressing something that they want to be, or they use it for project mood boards. So you'll get... you'll grab a bunch of photos, put them together, and say, this is the vibe that I'm going for.
Interior design sort of stuff,
Interior design, but we also see like beverage founders using it to try to figure out, and food founders to figure out what their brand's going to be like. And I think it's one of those things that it expresses your intent to do something.
Okay. Demographically, who uses it?
Well, Gen X millennials.
Gen X millennials. I asked this question before we hopped on the mics, and our Minister of Photographic Arts, Nate Brescia, said that millennials typically use Pinterest. But I thought
that's because nothing can survive on just Gen X. It's too small.
Okay, I thought this was for an older demographic. I thought Pinterest was a little bit more of the...
I mean, older than like Snapchat, sure.
Okay, yes, older than the old Snapchat. Yeah. Anyway, I bring this up because Pinterest announced that it has debuted its first ever co-branded product with Chamberlain Coffee. Chamberlain Coffee, as most people know, is a coffee company that was founded by social media star, YouTube star Emma Chamberlain. So their sea salt toffee flavored blend is now available in ground or whole bean for about $24 on Pinterest and direct from Chamberlain Coffee, assuming that means chamberlaincoffee.com.
$24?
Yes, it's a ground or
no, but
whole,
I mean,
whole
like,
bean coffee.
what is it? Is it a 12-ounce bag? 16-ounce bag? That seems a little pricey. For flavored coffee?
For flavored coffee, maybe, but if it's premium.
But you wrecked it with flavor? No offense.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Well, according to the press release, this collaboration underscores how the social media platform is purposefully building ties to the industry through influential personalities like Emma Chamberlain. And actually, let me clarify. That line was written by our very own Marty Caballero, as I'm reading from his story, which was published on June 17th. I gotta say, I guess, Emma Chamberlain, not a bad person to align with, but I am curious as to whether this is actually going to move the needle, or this is sort of just testing the waters for Pinterest.
Sounds like testing the waters, maybe getting a little jealous of TikTok Shop or something.
She's not the first one to have a flavored, to go out there with flavored coffee either. I mean, Top of the Morning. Well, I'm just saying, not the only influencer who's selling flavored coffee. Top of the Morning's like all in on flavored coffee right now too. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting off from someone who is completely disconnected, really has no connection at all to Pinterest. So for me to even, I guess...
You still call it the Facebook.
For me to even...
He likes a nice laser disc.
Yeah, for me to even scrutinize this is probably the wrong thing to do. But I don't know. Sometimes I get a little annoyed by some of the marketing that I see.
I think some brand should send you a mood board or two so you can see how this stuff works, because it's really cool what they do on Pinterest.
Well, clearly Pinterest is trying to get people to buy products directly from the site. In this press release or in the announcement, their VP of product management said this partnership transforms discovery into purchase in just a few clicks. Why not one click like Amazon?
Yeah.
But anyway, it bridges the gap between inspiration and action for millions of Pinterest users. So I hope this goes well. I mean, it should be interesting to see if this actually works out, and maybe Pinterest will become a destination for purchasing as much as it is for mood board activities.
Well, maybe a kind brand or two will send you their mood board at ask@tasteradio.com.
Okay, I'd happily accept that.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. How many years have I been standing on my soapbox about artificial flavors, colors, all that nonsense?
How long have you been alive?
Probably six weeks.
I've been alive. It's definitely not been 6 weeks. I can go back. I can
It's
search.
been a while.
I can search on tasteradio.com all the times Ray's gone on a rant.
I mean, as long as I've known you, you've been on that soapbox.
Okay. Well, so anyway, I mentioned this because it was announced today, according to the New York Times, that Kraft Heinz is planning to eliminate all chemical dyes over the next 2 years. Now, this comes after the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, you might know him better as RFK.
That's his dad.
That is his dad. You're right.
Yeah.
RFK Jr. Excuse me, I should say. Yes. Jeez, you're right on top of that, John. Thank you.
I'm just going to call you out when I can, right?
I think people call him RFK these days anyway. His dad isn't.
I don't know, RFK Jr. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. Anyway, in April, RFK Jr. said he had reached an understanding, quote unquote, understanding with food manufacturers to remove commonly used artificial food dyes from their products by 2026. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is a good thing. I don't know necessarily, I'm not going to comment on all of Maha and all this other stuff. I just wish it didn't take someone standing on his platform. I wish it didn't take the government to take action for food companies to do this. I would have hoped that food companies had on their own considered these options and done these things.
I mean, didn't they say they're getting rid of the artificial coloring in Kool-Aid?
Yes.
That's like, what's even the point of Kool-Aid anymore?
Oh, no.
Well, a spokeswoman from Kraft Heinz
Kool-Aid Man going to be clear now?
confirmed it would affect brands like Kool-Aid, Jell-O, Crystal Light, and other beverages and desserts that contain dyes like red number 40 and blue number 1. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make
How are you
here
going to
is
find the
that
flavor you
No
want?
blue Jell-O
Like,
anymore? What are you going to do?
when you go to your picnic and wherever it is, and they put the Jell-O out, they're going to have to label it now. It's going to be all clear Jell-O.
I just think that if you're eating anything that looks neon yellow, orange, green, purple, whatever it is, it's probably not a good thing for you. And, I'm going to stand my ground here and just say, I think this is something that consumers have wanted for some time. I think there has been consumer demand for clean ingredient products, whether they be from legacy brands or otherwise, for a long time. And I'm taking issue with the fact that Kraft Heinz had waited until the government stepped in to say something. I just feel like it was incumbent upon them to do something better for consumers and just for Americans in general.
I agree with you. I think the place where you're in, everything you're saying is true.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might be overestimating the number of consumers. That's all.
Yeah, I think some faction of consumers care about this and some faction of the products they consume.
Yeah. Well, okay, and this is also from the New York Times article. Kraft, which quietly and successfully removed artificial colors from its popular bright orange macaroni and cheese product in 2016 by
Look at that,
switching
I'm behind the times.
Right, by switching to turmeric and paprika, said it would not introduce any new products using synthetic dyes effective immediately. So, okay, to Kraft's credit, they already did do something better for consumers via its mac and cheese. I think, with Jell-O and other stuff, yes, maybe it's a little bit more difficult, but if you knew that you wanted to do it for Kraft macaroni and cheese, and you knew that it was probably better for consumers to do it, why didn't you do it for your other products?
Because now Kraft macaroni and cheese is more of a loss leader for them. It's less margin because it's more expensive to put turmeric in.
Well, a loss
than dye.
leader implies they're losing money on it, which I'm sure they're not. But either way, I think it's like, some of the products you're talking about, which are like just by virtue indulgence, almost like candy dessert products. I think there's probably been less of a priority there. Like, no one's looking at Jell-O going, wow, I want it to be more healthy. Like, more healthy is just like, don't freaking eat that,
No, John's right.
Or don't drink Kool-Aid.
They
I don't know.
nuked their margin. Is what I was trying to say.
Not healthy, but okay, if they already examine the opportunity to remove artificial colors from Kraft mac and cheese.
Yes.
Okay, so why aren't you examining
Because
the
it
opportunity?
doesn't apply. I'm sure they did, and it probably just doesn't apply to every category is really the point I'm trying to make.
Also, that's a pretty iconic. It's a pretty iconic. You dial down the marketing a little bit, and there you go.
I'm just being a rabble-rouser.
I know you're just rabbling.
I'm just rabbling.
But you they have a few dollars for marketing.
I hear you.
On the mac and cheese. John's right. I mean, like that's a flagship product. It's what they're known for.
Yeah, I mean, and let's be honest. Look, I'd be surprised, and no stain on Jell-O, but I'd be surprised if kids 20 years from now are like, ooh, Jell-O, I need that in my life, or like I need to be, that is the dessert that I want to be eating.
It's like old people food at this point.
It is a bit of an old person brand.
I don't really want to eat, horse hooves or whatever.
Is there a modern day? Is there a better for you Jell-O out there, like a brand out there that's doing better for you?
Probably.
Biffy Jell-O.
I think it's just like there's private label. Like if you go to Whole Foods, you can probably find, gelatin desserts and stuff.
But it's still gelatin, though.
What's wrong with gelatin?
It's got collagen. It's good for you.
Can analyze it later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got collagen. I didn't know that Jell-O was a good source of protein.
Ray's more of a panna cotta guy, also a gelatin dessert. But anyway.
Ambrosia.
I like how you just snuck in your knowledge of food there, knowledge of food desserts. You're like,
no problem.
Panna cotta, yeah. So for folks out there who want to know more about Italian desserts or otherwise, contact John Craven, J. Craven at BevNET.com.
That's a quality Jell-O dessert that I'll never eat again.
All right. Let's move on to new products. Okay,
I got one that just launched today.
Okay, well, who wants to go first?
I've got one right here.
Okay.
While you're pulling that one up, John. Remember our great meetup in Austin?
Yes, at Torchy's Tacos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the founders of Berski showed up.
Berski. How do you spell Berski?
Berski.
Okay.
Which are a new brand of beef sticks that are made with beef liver and beef heart. 25% beef liver, 25% beef heart, clean ingredients.
And there are two varieties, salt and pepper.
Salted and salt and pepper.
Okay.
You going in?
I don't know. What are we having for lunch today?
Have you tasted this yet?
What are we having for lunch?
Yeah.
You can add some protein.
If we're having
for lunch.
like steak, and I know we're not having steak, but like
surf and turf, right?
I think you should just taste it.
We're
right?
all going to
It's
Outback
pretty
after this.
Yum.
Yeah. So actually, this looks really nice. It's the label for their salt and pepper is this grayish black with Berski written in large font vertically on the front of pack. It says 8 grams of protein, and it very clearly outlines, as Mike mentioned, it's an ancestral blend made with 25% beef liver and 5% beef heart.
When I was a kid, my mom used to gag me with beef liver. Like I could not eat liver, and so I was pretty scared to try this, but it's really tasty.
Were you supposed to say such things on the podcast in public?
I don't like liver, Mom. No, I don't want to eat that liver.
All right, I'm gonna go in here on this salt and pepper variety. Okay. What?
No, I was just gonna say I'm not indulging.
John's never a meat stick guy, so I'd never try to push him on you.
So, you know how I love when you actually see the ingredients in processed food. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can actually see part of a beef heart in this thing.
What do you think?
Great texture.
Super M word.
You see a cow smiling at you.
Oh, Jesus. Now I can't finish this. No, but it's really what's the not barnyardy, but like what's the term I'm looking for?
Earthy, gamey.
I think it's earthy. It's a little gamey. I mean, you can definitely taste the liver and the heart, but it tastes good.
Notes of fresh cut grass.
I mean,
fresh can of tennis balls. I don't know. Are we in like wine notes now?
No, I will say that this is.
It would taste good with a nice glass of Cab, though.
This is not for everyone, but it is for someone who really loves the ancestral style of beef sticks. Like when Country Archer came out with theirs, or now it's called Archer.
Yep.
It was less earthy than this. This is for a serious. Ancestral beef stick consumer.
Like for the Liver King?
It's for the Liver King.
Again,
yes.
I think if you know the health benefits of liver and heart, and you don't like the taste of liver, then you're really going to like this. It's good.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
But yes, I think some people might be surprised by the texture and the fact that it is.
Well, it's still a meat stick.
Serious,
and as we've just seen where John was like, the Heisman, no, meat sticks aren't for everyone.
The Heisman.
No meat stick.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're not for everyone, and these are just really tasty, I think.
Yes. Well, well done, Berski. Great to see you at the Austin event. And
thanks for coming. Thanks for
anytime you're in the Boston area. And this invitation goes out to anyone who's listening. Happen to be in the Boston area, please let us know. We love to have visitors. Shout out to Christian Kareem Khalil, who came and visited us. He's the founder and CEO of a brand called Yaza, which is a maker of Lebanese-style lebne. And he came and visited us about 3 weeks ago, and it was amazing. Everyone got to see him, and we got to talk, and he got to have conversations with a whole bunch of different people on the team. We love that. So if you're in the Boston area, I can't say this any more times than I've already said it, please let us know. Please come to our office. We want to see you.
We're only like 20 minutes from the airport, too. It's close.
Barely.
It's close.
Barely. Yeah.
Thanks for visiting.
And we'll give you good recommendations for restaurants and places to visit.
Make you a latte.
Yeah, some of the places you should avoid, as in tourist traps, things like that.
You can come in and sample. I mean, we've got so many samples here. People are always, "Oh, am I allowed to take the samples?"
You can be a one-person trade show, a one-brand trade show here at BevNet headquarters.
You can come in and try everything.
Exactly. All right, John. As often on the podcast, he's chomping at the bit to talk about some products that he is happy about.
Happy about? Well, I mean, they're new. They're kind of cool.
Okay, so you haven't tried these yet. So
no.
you might be disappointed.
Well, I'm not going to be disappointed. Jeez, come on now. I mean,
John's excited about these products.
Well, first
and
of all,
disappointed.
if you're listening to this, they're new olive oils from Brightland, who has been known for making kind of premium, high-end, almost like gifting quality olive oils, vinegars. I think they make honey as well. And they're now launching like an everyday line, which has a cooking oil and a salad oil in a custom plastic bottle. I mean, I don't know if it'll dust up some drama like last time Brightland launched plastic bottle olive oil, but this is like a designed to be more like, lower price. I think these are 750 ml bottles, launching direct to consumer, I think today, June 17th, when we're recording, and going into retail in August. So pretty exciting stuff. Big fan of this brand.
Use occasions right on the front of pack there. Cooking and salad oil.
Yeah, it's funny. I think the salad oil thing, it might sound dumb, but it's like, for a lot of the olive oils that we get that are kind of like cooking, drizzle, or some, blend, it's like, I don't know what to do with them anymore. It's like, just tell me what to do with it. Outside of obviously drizzle, but I don't know. I'm not drizzling olive oil that much in my day-to-day life, unlike Ray, but yeah.
I just drizzle some olive oil just right now.
All
over my laptop.
All over your laptop.
Yeah.
Ray.
So I don't know. Pretty cool launch for them. Nice looking bottle, like the white and the kind of.
They got cooking, salad. They just need snacking oil now.
No, but the best part about that is it's extremely clear what the use case is, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Graza has like a pretty iconic, like, aesthetic that they own, and they've got some like copycats that are kind of doing that too. But this is very much like almost, I mean, it's a very visually, contrasting look to Graza. But yeah, I mean, I think compared to the rest of the olive oil set, where you're still like, I don't know, maybe it's Greek, Italian. They're trying to sell you on like origin, and this stuff it's from California. Maybe a smart, timely way to get around certain tariffs and stuff too, if that's still a thing.
And the innovation is that they're telling you the use case, like front of pack.
Now, why did you get these?
Well, I was outside of your house this morning intercepting your packages.
You see that? You just admitted that you're a mail thief, and I think the post office
proper term is a porch pirate.
What do they call it? Who's post office cops? I don't know what the term is, but anyway, they're going to come for you.
Yeah,
now.
the post office cops are coming for you.
I think they do have postal inspectors.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they carry guns if you use the wrong stamp? I don't know. Wow. Since I'm on a roll here, one more. This is a product called Mariona. These folks were at our New York City meetup. When was that? Was it April or was that May? I don't even have lost track.
It was April.
And this product, it looks like a bottle of wine. There's 3 varieties, but it's actually a Delta 9 THC beverage that sort of is designed to mimic the like experience of wine all the way down to the bottle. It's these are really nice products. I think it's cool just to see this, rapidly evolving category kind of expanding into a new package format. That feels certainly like it's, again, going for a different use occasion than all of the products that are in, most of them feel like they're in the 12-ounce like sleek can right now. So
yeah, I mean, I like the fact that this product very much looks like a wine, but never calls itself a wine. I think the potential for some confusion, however, might be there, even though they don't call themselves a wine. It's very much in a wine bottle. It looks like a modern, the label definitely looks sleek and trendy. And certainly, the big question with any THC beverage these days is what does the future hold for regulatory? Just in the past few days, I read the news that California is potentially going to ban any consumables that contain THC. Certainly, there's some questions about the Texas market too. See, right there, you have two of the three biggest states in the country that may limit or completely prohibit THC products or the sale of them. So definitely keep an eye on that.
So many good products, reasonably safe. I mean, that's such a shame. All consumables?
It sounds like it. Yeah. So
what a nasty setback for the industry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like there was a lot of momentum, and now that momentum has hit the
momentum's still there. It's just elsewhere. I think if you talk to the brands that are out there, they're just focusing in different places, and I think that part of it's pretty interesting too. And that there's momentum in parts of the country that certainly we're not talking about Minnesota a lot on here,
right? Like the cannabis kings,
or certain other regions that also have developed pretty good markets for these things. And I think otherwise, like, they're just kind of untapped for like emerging CPG. They're kind of generally places that brands go to play when they're like much bigger, much more mainstream.
Well, I mean, I part of the reason I brought this up is because our colleague Lucas Southard wrote a story about a week ago about Breeze, BREZ, which is one of the fastest growing THC brands out there. And they have introduced, or they're introducing, a new non-infused variety of their product. And the founder of Breeze, noted that, quote, it's hard to build with THC. So, and we did see this with Can as well. Remember when Can was only focused on their cannabis products, and then they introduced a line of non-alcoholic cocktails, and so it definitely seems like there are a lot of questions among THC brand founders about the road ahead, and I think they're just trying to cover all their bases.
Yeah, it was interesting. Little Saints went down that path too, but theirs wasn't THC, but they had CBD, and they backed off of CBG and went into mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, if you want to read that article that our dear colleague Lucas wrote, head to BevNET.com. But of course, you got to be an insider. So easy way to do that, BevNET.com/insider, Nosh.com/insider, or of course, TasteRadio.com/insider. Mike, you got one more product.
Last word here?
Yeah.
Well, I've got Moshi sparkling water in front of me here, Ray, which is a line of Asian sparkling water with juice. You've got Asian pear and ginger, white peach yuzu, honeydew melon and cream, and this one is their new lychee vanilla.
Very cool. Everyone loves lychee. It's lychee, right?
Lychee or lychee. You can say it either way.
I don't say lychee.
I say lychee usually, but I'll say it either way. Just like sometimes I say data, and then on Thursdays I say data.
I'm going to we're going to end the banter at least with one brand name that I'm going to take issue with the way you pronounce. It's Olipop.
Why aren't you taking issue with the way that I say Kif?
That's yeah. Rewatch the New Beverage Showdown, folks, and you'll know exactly what he's talking about. It's not Olipop. You always say Olipop.
I like Olipop.
It's Olipop, right, John?
Sure, bro.
It's Tiva Teva. Just wear the damn sandals.